Welcome to another episode of the Back Row Redskins Show. What's good, everybody? Hope you guys are doing well. Just wanted to come on and do a pregame show for the Eagles versus the Washington football team. Um, yes, the name is still Back Row Redskins until we come up with another name. I know it's going to take at least 18 months, and I'm willing to wait. Still love my Redskins. So this game versus the Eagles and the Redskins, I feel like it's going to be a big game. It's going to be a surprise game. Last year, we played the Eagles, and we were up. We were up big. And then come halftime, Deshaun Jackson lit us up. He lit us up for 2 touchdowns, and it sucked. It sucked. We lost that game. Deshaun was even saying, it's the same old Redskins, same old Redskins. So this year, I do feel like it's going to be a little different. But let's look at the Eagles first. Let's look at what the Eagles have done and how the Eagles look. So the injury report as of now, Miles Sanders is questionable. He's most likely going to play. Alshon Jeffries he's out. We knew he was going to be out. Javon Hargrave is out. That's their big-time defensive tackle. He's out. Derek Barnett is questionable. Lane Johnson is questionable. Derek Barnett and Lane Johnson are both going to play. So, that's that right there. Also, for the Redskins, you have Kendall Fuller, who's doubtful. He's not going to play. And then as well as Thomas Davis Sr., he's out. But with Kendall Fuller, I knew he was not going to play because he missed a lot of practices last week. And I know J.P. Finley was saying, he's not yet concerned until, he starts missing practices as we approach week 1. Speaking of J.P. Finley, man, shout out to J.P. Finley. It's his birthday. He does a lot for the Redskins community and the Washington football community, I should say. So happy birthday, J.P. Finley. If you're listening, hey, we love you and we appreciate all you do for us. So, like I was saying, yeah, Kendall Fuller, I didn't really have a problem with the linebackers. My problem was more so if somebody gets hurt, then we're thin. We have our top 4 corners. Of course, you got Kendall Fuller. Then you have Fabian Monroe. Then you have Ronald Darby. And then you have Jimmy Moreland, the people's corner. So for me, with these guys, they're 4 guys that can play, but it's a lot of question marks. Some is talent, some is injuries. With Ronald Darby, man, he has not been healthy since his rookie season in Buffalo. So there's a lot there to look at. The ESPN depth chart says Dwayne Haskins, Antonio Gibson at the running back, at the RB1. But we've heard reports that J.D. McKissick is going to start. He's going to start, but you're going to see a lot of Antonio Gibson. You're going to see a lot of Peyton Barber as well. It's going to be a full committee. Bryce Love is 4th on the depth chart, and I do believe he's about 4 weeks out from being fully healthy. So look out for Bryce Love. But the Eagles are going to get a big dose of Antonio Gibson and J.D. McKissick in the backfield at the same time. You're going to see a lot of 2 RB sets. Ron Rivera has talked about versatility, and these guys are guys who can actually catch the ball. So you have that, and then Terry McLaurin, Steve Sims, Dontrell Inman as our starting 3 wide receivers. But what scares me about Steven Sims Jr. is that if you look on the depth chart, they have him returning kicks and they also have him returning punts. So I don't know if that's going to affect his game. I don't know if he's going to be tired. I remember when we started giving Jamison Crowder more opportunities on offense, he started like fumbling the ball on special teams. So I hope that's not the case for Steve Sims. He's our next best wide receiver. It's really Terry McLaurin and Steve Sims. Those are our 2 best wide receivers. So hopefully the coaches figure out something to where they can give some of these guys more opportunities in terms of, either returning the ball, doing special things. I do not want to see Steve Sims overexerted. That's not good for anyone. So for me, I would rather see him more so on offense, and maybe you can get a guy like Isaiah Wright to play special teams. He's very shifty. And then with our wide receiver, our whole wide receiving core, it just looks kind of funny right now because we kept 5, okay? And then there was some issues with AGG, but AGG practice. So AGG, he's going to be available, but we don't know how much of a role he's going to have. We'll see if another wide receiver is activated to just have 6 on the active for Sunday, but it's most likely going to be 5. Hopefully, like I said, Steve Sims taking on that role of special teams. Hopefully that does not affect him at all. So moving forward, looking at the Washington football team offensive line, you got Jerron Christian. Somebody said that they are really worried about Jerron Christian starting at the left tackle position. As of right now, that's all we really have. We do have Sadiq Charles, but he's been dealing with injuries. He's questionable for the game. I highly doubt he starts. So expect a guy like David Sharp to back up Jerron Christian. Then you have Wes Martin starting at the left guard. I really liked Wes Martin last year. I believe he'll be okay. Then you got Wes Swisher backing him up. Happy birthday, Wes. Then you have Chase Roulier, which I like, and then Keith Ishmael backing him up. So I think we're solid at the center position. Brandon Sheriff and Morgan Moses, these guys are our leaders. These are the guys that are going to lead the team, whether you like it or not. I mean, Morgan Moses has been here a while. You have Cornelius Lucas ready to back him up. So that's the offensive line. That's the group where I feel like we're not strong, but hey, we're going to have to play. The Eagles, they do have some injuries on that defensive line, but that defensive line is still very, very, very good. We're going to need a lot of Logan Thomas helping out in the blocks. We're going to need guys like J.D. McKissick picking up the extra blitz and everything. So sometimes you're going to see 2 wide receiver sets, and we're out here like pretty much max protecting, so to speak. You're going to see, running backs chipping in. Hey, what's up, my brother? Let me pull up your comment. It says, what's good? Gibson with a big game this week. Yes, I do believe Gibson has a big game this week. He's going to be a guy who is going to get a lot of receptions. That Scott preaches versatility. So he's going to be one of our main receivers. And I see a lot of short passes to start the game. So I do see Gibson getting a lot of receptions this game. So I'm excited for that. I have Gibson in 2 or 3 of my fantasy leagues, and I'm so tempted to start him because somebody has to catch the ball. And if there's a matchup to where Terry McLaurin is being locked up by Slay, that means you got Gibson, you got Logan Thomas, who are going to benefit from that strong defense from Slay. But I really think that Terry is going to destroy Slay this week. I'm not worried about Slay at all. He's a very good player, but Terry's just a different animal. And Slay even said last year that Terry was one of the toughest guys he had to cover. We move on to the defense. Man, the defense is going to be our bread and butter. Chase Young, Jonathan Allen, Payne, Sweat. That front 4 is as good as a front 4 in the entire league. And I'm very, very confident that that front 4 is going to keep us in the game. I'm going to get to my predictions of the game shortly, but I do expect Chase Young to bring a lot of pressure. You're going to have Jason Peters guarding Chase Young. I want to say that Jason Peters has no chance, but then again, Jason Peters is a veteran. He does have a few tricks up his sleeve, and this is going to be a welcome to the NFL Chase Young. So I'm real excited to see, I'm real intrigued to see what Chase Young does in that matchup. That's going to be his first true matchup. You can say, hey, that's not much of a matchup, but hey, Jason Peters was an all-pro. I mean, he was a perennial Pro Bowler. So you got to respect Peters in that aspect. Eagles gave him a raise just to move him back to left tackle, and then you have the other guy on the other side. So it's going to be fun. I think that Chase is going to be disruptive. Jonathan Allen, there's going to be lots of double teams. So who do you double team? Do you double team Chase Young? Do you double team Allen? Okay. If you double team Allen, then what happens with the other guys? So it's going to be very, very, very fun to watch that matchup between offense and defense. I think that's where we have a huge advantage. Then, okay, what happens when Payne gets tired? Settle comes in. You know, Big Matt, Ioannis is going to be switching from, right DT to LDT. So it's going to be fun right there. And then you got a guy like, what's his name? Ryan Kerrigan. Ryan Kerrigan, man, he's going to break this record come Sunday. He needs 2 sacks. I am hoping that Ryan Kerrigan gets these 2 sacks that we need Sunday. If he does, I'm going to be so excited. I'm wearing my Ryan Kerrigan jersey. I'm excited. I'm excited for him. Then you got Ryan Anderson. I mean, we have so many, like we dress out 8 guys. I don't think that JSW dresses out for this game, but we'll see. We'll see. Thomas Davis being out, that hurts because we kept 6 linebackers. So now that means more Khalid Hudson in this game. That means more Cole Holcomb. Even though like the depth chart says Sean Deion Hamilton, John Bostic, and Kevin Pierre-Louis starting, there's a case that Cole can take over that middle linebacker position soon. The coaches do like John Bostic calling the plays, so maybe that's why he's there. He is the veteran, so we'll see what happens. But with our 5 linebackers, with Thomas Davis not being there, it does hurt. We're going to be in a lot of nickel because of the Eagles personnel. So I see a lot of switches. And, I mean, you're going to see at least 2 linebackers on the floor at all times. So it's real interchangeable with what we can do. There won't be much of a Sam linebacker. In my opinion, you're going to see Kevin Pierre-Louis playing the weak linebacker, the wheel, so to speak. You're going to see Sean Deion Hamilton playing the wheel. If Sean Deion Hamilton can somewhat slow down Zach Ertz, it just bodes well for the team. The Eagles have 2 of the best tight ends in the entire NFL. So the Eagles, I would say, have the best tight end combo. Of course, we know who Ertz is. Ertz is an all-pro, Pro Bowler. I mean, one of the best tight ends, arguably top 3 tight end. Then you have Dallas Goedert, who was a first-round pick. So Ertz is kind of mad that he didn't get paid. The Eagles, they want to go that route and pay him right now. So we'll see what happens there. But anyways, if Sean Deion Hamilton can just do something to slow down either Zach Ertz or Dallas Goedert, they're going to play a lot of 2 tight end sets. With the Eagles not having a lot of their wide receivers, expect 2 tight end set. Expect a guy like Miles Sanders being that guy that can. So we're going to need help in the slot, in the flat. I mean, you can see a package that has 2 running backs and 2 tight ends for the Eagles. It could be that kind of Sunday. But we're going to get to the Eagles in a moment. Another guy said that he was afraid of Troy Aikman starting. I think that Troy Aikman is going to be fine. Let's see what he looks like first before we jump to conclusions. I think that Troy Aikman is going to be fine. He's been hitting, so we're going to need him on these tight ends. We're going to need Landon Collins on these tight ends. It's going to be a collective effort. I like the abilities of KPL. I like KPL a lot. I think he's going to be somebody who's going to be able to help us with these tight ends. We're going to have to hit hard, okay? Jimmy Moreland, you got to step up. You got to step up. If there's no Kendall Fuller, you slide right on in. So we're going to need a lot of Jimmy Moreland. We're going to need a lot of Fabian Moreau on the outside. The Eagles have some speedy receivers. Let's look at the Eagles real quick. So last year, Miles Sanders ran for 818 yards. Zach Ertz led them in receiving because they had a lot of receiving issues, but Zach Ertz is just that good. Zach Ertz had a little bit over 900 yards. Okay, so Carson Wentz threw for 4,000 yards. So he was spreading the ball. Okay, he had guys like Ertz. Dallas Goedert had 600. So coming into this season, what is different? Nelson Aguilar's gone. He couldn't catch a cold. Then you have Alshon Jeffries, who's always hurt. But when he's healthy, he's a very good receiver. So we don't have to worry about that. Thank God. So no Alshon Jeffries. But what does that mean for the Eagles? All right, you have a rookie that you drafted in Jalen Reagor. Jalen Reagor had that shoulder issue, but he's practiced the last few days. So what does that mean? He's going to play. And if he's going to play, he's going to be a threat. So no Alshon Jeffries, no problem. Insert Jalen Reagor, okay? Then you have Quez Watkins, who's a rookie who you drafted. He's on IR for the Eagles. Then you have Deshaun Jackson. He's so old, but he's effective. He runs deep routes, and he opens up for the underneath routes. Then you have J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. That's the wild card. That's the guy that I'm thinking could possibly do something against us, because we don't know much about him. He played last season, but he didn't play so well. So coming into this season, he has no pressure. Okay, they've drafted a couple of they drafted a first round guy in Jalen Reagor, so you expect Jalen Reagor to be the real deal, right? They chose Jalen Reagor over what's that guy, Justin Jefferson. That to me was a mistake. I think that Justin Jefferson is going to be the best rookie wide receiver in the NFL this season. But anyway, so Jalen Reagor, then you have Deshaun Jackson, JJ Arcega-Whiteside, Greg Ward, and John Hightower, another rookie. So this receiving core, it doesn't really scare me. If you subtract Alshon Jeffries, this looks like, and it's a decent wide receiving core, because hey, I can't talk like Washington football has the best wide receiving core right now. No, I can't talk like that. So the Eagles do have some experience. They do have a lot of speed. Jalen Reagor speed, Deshaun Jackson speed, John Hightower speed. So it's gonna be something that we're gonna have to watch. If Chase Young and the front four cannot get to Carson Wentz, then guess what? You start to deploy some blitzes. If you start blitzing, then you have a guy like Miles Sanders, who's a great pass catcher. So Del Rio, this one is on you. You're gonna have to scheme and do the best you can. But where we can attack these guys is this offensive line: Jason Peters, Isaac Semalu, Jason Kelsey. He's very, very good. Matt Pryor, Lane Johnson. I have a feeling that we can really attack this group. And coming off the bench is like rookies. Like you have Jack Driscoll. I don't know what happened to Prince Tega. Maybe he didn't make the team. Maybe he's hurt. I don't know. I don't see him on their depth chart. So we can really attack this offensive line. If we can limit the amount of time that Carson Wentz has to throw the ball, it's just going to bode well for us. So I'm confident there. I'm confident that we can win that matchup in the trenches right there. We are going to have to put constant pressure. And if we can bring pressure with just four guys, man, it's just going to be amazing. Maybe you blitz Landon Collins every now and then. Maybe you send a corner. Or maybe you put in Khalil Hudson and, Viper blitzing and stuff like that, things that he did in college. So it's going to be really, really intriguing to see how we attack their offensive line. Let's make them use Ertz as a blocker. Let's make them use Dallas Goedert as a blocker. That would be awesome. That would be awesome if we can limit some of their tight ends by making them blockers. It's going to be awesome. So we're going to have to show that we can stuff the run. Last year, we did not do a good job of stuffing the run. Miles Sanders is an ascending player. He's a guy that's up and coming. Do not sleep on Boston Scott. If we can limit Miles Sanders and limit Boston Scott, it just bodes well for us. I do feel like we win this game. I think it's going to be 20-17 Washington. That's my prediction for this game. Let me read some of the comments by some of the fans. I put up something on Twitter, and I said, comment, ask a question. So we're going to dive into those. Somebody said that they really believe that Carson Wentz is going to get destroyed by Chase Young. Yes, we are all hoping that, we put constant pressure on them, like I said. I think that our front four is going to do well. Our front seven as a total is going to do well. And if we can put pressure on this quarterback, then you can see guys like Jimmy Moreland make plays. Adam came on the show on this last episode, and he says that he sees Jimmy Moreland being a guy that gets 5 interceptions this season. And JP Finley said that he had a bold prediction that Jimmy Moreland leads us in interceptions. So I'm buying the hype. I like Jimmy Moreland a lot this year. Let's put some pressure and let's create some turnovers. Let's get some sacks, some strip sacks and fumbles and things of that nature. And I mean, it's going to be a good Sunday if we can do that. Somebody said he's kind of surprised that they're predicting us to be so bad. Somebody said that they're predicting us to be 1-15 bad. Nah, I don't see us being 1-15. I see us as a team that can win anywhere between 7 to 9 games. And I do think that we come out and we win this game and we have a good shot at beating the Arizona Cardinals the following week. Yes, I said it. I'm just that confident in the team and the abilities that we possess. The next person said, how do you think this secondary looks without Fuller? We already thin at the cornerback position. The cornerback position is just going to be all on the pass rush. If Carson Wentz does not have time to throw the ball, is going to help the cornerback position. But the cornerback position can come out and ball. We didn't hear a lot about Fabian Monroe during the whole camp. Maybe it's by design. I don't know. I think the corners are fine. It just sucks that we're not deeper at that position. A lot of the guys are young. Guys like Danny Johnson and Greg Stroman. Those guys are solid, but they have a lot to prove. Okay. So you have Jimmy Moreland, Danny Johnson, then you have Fabian Monroe, Greg Stroman. Those are our guys. And, of course, Ronald Darby. So those are our guys. And, you can be worried about it, but what can you do? You just have to roll with what you have and just, hope for the best. Now, let me read the next comment. Somebody said something about Junior Galette. He put claims that he's being blackballed by the NFL. Has nothing to do with this matchup, but I just wanted to read the comment anyways. I felt like Junior Galette had his chance. He didn't take the deal, and now, for some reason, he's not getting a job. So maybe because he talks too much. Moving on, some guy said he has a prediction. His name is Ridiculous Nicholas, and this comment is so ridiculous. He says that he feels that Haskins will not end the year as a starter, or Haskins will be replaced. Well, Haskins is going to end the year as a starter, and he will not be replaced. They're going to see what they have in Haskins. I don't see any scenario where Haskins is benched. We're not playing for a Super Bowl. We're not playing for the play. I mean, we're playing for the playoffs, but we're not chasing wins. We're more so trying to grow. Okay, so I don't see a scenario where Haskins is benched. Okay, Alex Smith is not going to come in and take the job. Nah, it's not happening. It is Haskins' job to lose, and I think Haskins is going to do fairly well this season. And all this weight that he lost, if you listen to the last episode, Adam also said that he sees Haskins as a guy who's going to scramble more this year. Don't be surprised if you see 400 to 500 yards rushing out of Dwayne Haskins. The next one, this is a very good question. Christopher Johnson said, "What song do we sing after we score a touchdown?" The game is going to be, at FedEx, and when we score a touchdown, I wonder if they're going to play the song without the words, because you can't say "Hail to the Redskins" anymore. So, "Hail to the Washington football team." No, I don't think they play a song. That's just my opinion. I don't think they play the song. I don't even think they play the song without words. It's a little, it's a little touchy. So, I don't think we play a song. You'll just hear crowd noise. Yeah, woo, after a touchdown. I don't see us doing anything special after a touchdown is scored. One guy says, hopefully no BS where people support the Eagles. He's anti-Eagles. We don't like the Eagles. So he's ready to fight anybody who's supporting the Eagles. So you guys can find him on my Twitter page. Nah, I'm just kidding. There'll be no fighting. The next comment says, score prediction. I predict a 20-17 score. I think the secondary is going to play okay without Fuller. See, because Jalen Reagor and the Eagles receivers are young. I don't know if those guys are going to perform, being that they didn't have a preseason. So it's going to be a toss-up for me. This being the very first game, it might be some sloppiness. It might be some busted coverages. But I think the secondary is going to do well just because I'm so confident that the front seven does amazing this Sunday. So we'll see what happens. It's going to come down to the linebackers and safety. I mean, we're going to need help covering these tight ends. But in terms of covering the Eagles wide receivers, I think we'll be fine. I'm just more so worried about the tight ends and Miles Sanders out the backfield. All right, let me get to, I think, one more question on my Back Row Redskins Twitter page. So I'm going to get to that, and I'll talk a little bit more about the game, and then we'll be done. I'll try to do a pregame show as often as I can for the podcast. I think it'll be something cool. And then from time to time, we're going to have guests who come on. I had Kyle, the co-creator of the Redskins Hub, coming on. He said he'll come on after the Raptors game. He's a Raptors fan. After the Raptors lost, he went ghost. He went ghost on me. So I'm doing a show solo, but it's all good. It's all good. Shout out to the Raptors. They did play very, very well to get to the point that they're in right now. So last question says, Apke or Christian is a disaster. What do we do? My biggest fears of week one. Apke, Jerron Christian. I get it. Those are two guys that have been question marks for a long time. Those are two guys that it's taken a long time for these guys to develop. But this new coaching staff was able to kind of get these guys together and possibly have maximized what these guys can do. Like I said, I think Apke is going to be fine. Hopefully he's out there hitting these tight ends and hitting these wide receivers. I need him to be as strong and as tough as he was during camp. Because during camp, he was knocking everybody out. So let's hope that he's improved his tackling. Let's pray and hope that he's taking good angles. But, yeah, I'm not worried about Apke. Now, Jerron Christian, that's a whole nother ballgame. Playing left tackle, that's a position where that's the toughest position in football. And if he can kind of somewhat slow down the Eagles' pass rush and just try to keep Dwayne Haskins upright, then we definitely win the game. If Jerron Christian plays well, we win the game easily. It's going to come down to the offensive line versus their defense. It's going to come down to our defense versus their offensive line. I think the Eagles and the Washington football team both have suspect offensive lines. So we're going to see what happens there. If we can get a big special teams play, that will be amazing. Just imagine Khalid Hudson coming out there blocking a punt or blocking a kick or Steve Sims return a punt or return a kickoff, so far. Or if we're pinning these guys at the 1 yard line off of every punt by Tressway. Tressway is the GOAT. So I'm expecting the special teams to do something. We need some kind of spark. We need some kind of plug. We need something. And if we can get it, man, it just bodes well for us. Just imagine with Tressway's kicking and our front four. That can be a nice little recipe for success. Let's just try to flip the field. Let's get these guys pinned in their end zone, and let's just send everybody. Let's see how that works, man. I believe in Tressway this season. Man, he's one of our leaders on special teams. Honestly, he should have been a captain. Yes, I'm expecting special teams to be special. If that can happen, then that just helps our chances to win this game. Like I said, the Eagles are losing a big-time defensive tackle in Javon Hargrave. So Malik Jackson is probably going to step in, or Hassan Ridgeway. Vinny Curry's still there. So they're still very, very capable on defense. Don't sleep on these guys. You got Josh Sweat out there, Derek Barnett. Fletcher Cox. They are still loaded on defense. And let's see what happens to this secondary. They cut two of their guys. They brought in some other guys. Besides Slay, the group doesn't look scary. Jalen Mills, Rodney McLeod, Avonte Maddox. Let's see what happens, man. Let's see what happens. I believe that Terry McLaurin is going to be very, very good. And do not sleep on Logan Thomas. I feel like Logan Thomas has a chance to really hit that middle of the field. I'm expecting great things out of him because if you guys listen to the last podcast, you guys would hear that we're going to be able to use Logan Thomas in all kinds of ways. We're going to be able to use him kind of like a fullback as well. He's an excellent blocker. He's very, very physical. When he comes in the game, you don't know if it's going to be a pass or a run. So I'm excited to see what he brings to the table. So Eagles, Washington, week one is finally here. We are excited. Let's just get out to a fast start, and this time we keep the lead. This time we keep the lead. Let's just come out there. We hit them in the mouth. Let's test this Eagles so-called improved secondary. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? If Slay cannot guard Terry McLaurin, I'm telling you, it's going to be a long day for these guys. I'm expecting a lot of Antonio Gibson, a lot of J.D. McKissick, of course, Peyton Barber in the early downs. And don't be surprised if you see Peyton Barber catch a pass or two. Ron wants all of his running backs to have the ability to be able to catch the ball. So expect some screens, expect some wide receiver screens, expect some short passes to guys like Inman. But I'm really expecting Logan Thomas to tear up that middle of the field. I'm excited for this game. I'll be doing a post-game show Sunday night, and then it'll be on podcast form Monday morning. So the schedule is going to be Saturday night, pregame show, then Sunday night, Friday night pregame show. You guys get the audio Saturday morning. And then for the post-game show, it's going to be recorded on Sunday night. And then you guys will get it Monday morning. So thank you guys for checking out the episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at Back Row Redskins. Hope you guys are doing well. You guys stay safe. I love you guys. I'm out. Let's get it.